I've helped make over $10 million on YouTube, and there are 7 mistakes that I see that hold most business owners back from making money from their channel. So I'm about to break down exactly what they are so that you can scale your personal brand to over $100,000 a month. All right, so these are the 7 mistakes, and if you keep making them, you're gonna end up like this guy on the left who is making no money at all, and he's in fact actually losing money producing content on his YouTube channel by hiring editors, scriptwriters, whatever that may be. Whereas if you fix these 7 mistakes, you can be like the guy on the right, making a ton of money from your YouTube channel. So the first mistake is that most business owners are making I content. Now, what does that mean? What is I content? I content are videos like how I made X online, how I increased my closing rate by 2X, how I got 1,000 subscribers on a YouTube channel from scratch, whatever it may be. Whereas instead of doing I content, you actually need to shift over into you content. And what you content is how you can book X meetings per day, how to make your SMMA $10,000 a month, how to make $10,000 a month drop shipping. Those are all videos that are tailored around you instead of I. And this is one of the most common mistakes that I see most business owners making, because naturally business owners have an ego. Like, I think there's no denying that a lot of business owners have a pretty big ego, right? Which is completely okay, because that's also something that helps you make money. But when it comes to YouTube content, you really have to get rid of that ego. Instead of trying to position yourself as, oh, I'm some amazing entrepreneur. There's tons of amazing entrepreneurs. People can go watch Alex Hormozi. They can even watch billionaires on YouTube. So for your business, whether you're doing 10K a month, 100K a month, $1 million a month, $10 million a month, whatever that may be, there's always a bigger fish out there. And most business owners are not going to be able to compete with people who are billionaires in terms of the how I content, because there'd be a lot more people interested in that than how many people would be interested in you saying that, oh, you made $10,000 a month, oh, you made $100,000 a month, or me made $10,000 a month, made $100,000 a month. So we really have to let go of this ego here and start making content for the viewers. And there is actually a point where this shifts. So when you grow in subscribers, there really becomes an inflection point right here, where after you pass roughly 100,000 subscribers, people start to actually notice you and they start to build a relationship and be like, okay, this is an actual guy in the space, right? I know this guy, I know his story, I know a little bit about him. And once you reach that point of 100,000 subscribers, that's where you can shift from the how to the how I. And you can see this with Iman, you can see this with Alex Hormozi. These guys made how-to content until they got 100,000 subscribers. Iman was literally making niche SMMA content. He was making niche how to start a marketing agency content, and it took him a long time to get to 100,000 subs. But after he became someone and after he built up that initial core audience, he was able to expand out of that and grow a gigantic personal brand by talking about how I became a millionaire at 21, like stuff like that. And same thing with Alex Hormozi, by the way. Alex Hormozi made very niche how-to business content for years before he ever blew up. And then he started making how I after he crossed around that 100,000 subscriber threshold. So you need to be thinking about your content exactly like this. Now, the next mistake that I see holding most business owners back is actually intros. And this is simply because most business owners just don't know how to make intros. They'll do an intro like, oh, I scaled this business to X, so I'm going to teach you how in this video. Or, hey guys, welcome back to the channel. That's the worst one. We do not want to say that. And a lot of people actually get these intros really wrong, which is bad because intros are the thing that really makes or breaks your channel. Like when someone has a good intro, it allows so many more of their prospects to stay past the 30 seconds and actually consume their content. Because if your prospects aren't actually watching your content, then you're not going to get any buyers. So intros are one of the most important parts of this. And it also is very important to pre-frame the audience. So in the next minute or two, I'm literally going to show you exactly how to write your intros. So when we write intros, there are 4 lines that we have to go into, right? And the first one is confirming the click. So whatever your video is, you need to confirm that click. So what could that be? How to make 10K a month with dropshipping. That's the example. So first we want to confirm the click. So what we would say is, I made $10,000 a month with dropshipping in only 30 days. That confirms the click, plus it gives credibility, which is a very good way to do it. But what you could also say in this scenario is, I'm going to show you how to make $10,000 a month with dropshipping. That's another example of how to confirm that click. Because when a viewer is looking at your title and thumbnail on the homepage, if they click on your video and then they get a completely different thing than what they asked for, they're going to click off. So we want to make that as synchronous as possible and as close to each other as possible. The title, the thumbnail, and the first line of the intro. From there, what we need to do is we need to actually hook the viewer in. And that is exactly why we make something called an open loop. An open loop is essentially a question that you raise in your viewer's head that they don't yet have the answer to. So how human psychology works is that someone has a question and then they also want an answer. And then what happens is when the question starts, the circle starts. So they go ahead and they start having this thought. They're like, how do I do this? How does this work? What is the answer to my question, right? And it leaves an open loop if we don't yet have the answer here. So this basically makes them feel incomplete. So right at this point, they feel very incomplete. And they want to essentially close that loop. They want to get to this point where they need the answer to get to that point, right? They want to close the loop and make them feel satisfied. And once they get to this point where they've closed the loop, they feel happy, right? They get a hit of dopamine and everything is good in the world because they don't have that question in their mind anymore. That is an open loop. And basically in that second line, you need to open one. So how do you do that? Well, for example, in that dropshipping video, what I would say is, and there's a simple strategy that you can use to scale to $10,000 a month with dropshipping fast. So now someone is wondering, what is that strategy? Or there is a simple blueprint, or there is a 3-step process, or there is a 7-step system, or there are 7 mistakes. Boom. Open loop is basically just opening that question and your prospect will just get hooked into the video and it becomes a lot harder for them to leave than if you didn't have that there. So that is number 2, that is the open loop. And then number 3, what we want to do is we want to establish the expectation. Now, what is establishing expectation? Well, that's basically just telling the viewer how the video is going to look. So for example, after that open loop where you tell them, I'm going to show you this simple process, you will essentially tell them, I'm going to break it down in depth on a Miro board, on an iPad, on a Zoom call, whatever it may be, on a Google Doc. And I'm going to show you step by step exactly how it works. So now they know exactly how you're going to break down the information to them, which is very good. So you could be like, if you're doing a raw video, you could also say something like, I'm going to break down just raw, no edits, exactly how to do this and exactly how you can get results, right? I'm going to give you the best information out there. So now they're pre-framed on exactly of the style of the video that you're about to present to them. Because if they come in off a high production intro or they come in with a different expectation with a nice thumbnail, good title, then they're probably going to think the video is going to be high production. And if you're a business owner, it might not be, right? And if it is, you don't really need to say much. But if it's not a super high production video, then you really need to be careful here in this expectation setting stage where you tell them exactly what video they're about to watch. And that brings us into line 4, which is essentially reestablishing credibility plus POV. So what is this? Well, credibility plus POV is essentially the 4th line. You either want to establish credibility. So you want to be like, and I've made over $500,000 on YouTube myself. You want to basically say something like that, where you just add a ton of credibility to your name. That's one way to do it. The other way is also doing a POV. So why is your point of view unique? This could be like a mission statement. It could be just something about you that gives a really good kind of example of why you're uniquely qualified to share this information. So for example, if you're doing a video about investing and you're a financial advisor, you could be like, I have a financial advising license. You could end off the intro saying, I'm one of the few people on YouTube who has a financial license. I've been doing this for 30 years. And this is the actual real advice that will get you results, right? Something like that. Or what you could say is, I'm on a mission to take 1,000 YouTube channels to over 100,000 subscribers, like a mission statement of some sorts. That also separates you out. That's the way that you should do your intros. And basically just going down that list, you want to keep it directly in order, 1 to 2 lines for each, but usually about 1 line for each. And if you structure intros like this, you're going to get so many more people past that first 30 seconds. It's ridiculous. So do this, use this framework. It's very, very simple. And I can guarantee you it'll get you a ton more qualified views on your video. The next part of YouTube that most people mess up on is your CTA. Now, a lot of people just don't include a CTA, right? Or they say, oh, go subscribe to my channel or something like that. But as a business owner, you need to be sending people direct to offer. The other thing that people mess up on is they're a little bit too intense with their CTA. They're like, hey, our program includes this, this, and this. Our program is called this. Realistically, with YouTube, it's very, very simple. So if you have a YouTube video, you have it start here, you have it end here, and you have a 10-minute video, right? So let's say it's 10 minutes. Around minute 5 is where you're gonna want a CTA. This is because the viewer's investment goes up over this time, and the actual amount of viewers that stay on the video go down over this time. So you can kind of intersect at this intersection right here, where there's a good amount of people invested in the content. They've already gotten value from you, so they have the goodwill built up with you already from watching that video, but the actual amount of people on the video isn't so low at the end, even though the amount of goodwill they have with you is very high, right? So it's a good middle ground to follow. What do you actually say in your CTA? Well, it really should just be a 1-line CTA. And what that looks like is essentially something like this. If you want us to tell you exactly what videos you need to make on YouTube in order to get results, come up with the title, idea, thumbnail, and even help you structure the entire thing to make sure it converts, then click the first link in the description, schedule a time with my team, and we'll talk to you soon. So it's a very, very subtle 2 to 3 line CTA compared to a lot of people who do an entire paragraph paragraph. They might even do multiple paragraphs, right? You do not want that thing to be more than like 10 seconds. So CTA very subtly, push it direct to an offer page, and you should be really good. The next thing that most business owners completely miss is in-screen CTR. And this is a extremely important metric that a lot of people don't even think about. Like, this is one of the most important metrics on YouTube. And if you're not currently thinking about this, then you should need to watch this section. So in-screen CTR is the amount of people that actually click on your in-screen. So this is the video that pops up on the end of your video once the video is about to be over, where it says, hey, go watch this video next. But that's actually wrong. That's actually the wrong way to think about it. How you want to do your in-screen CTR is actually exactly like this. So you want to do a connect, open loop, and a CTA plus promise. And once you structure your in-screen CTAs like this, then what will happen is your in-screen CTR will go from like 1 to 2%, which go look at it on your channel right now. Can guarantee you it's probably below 3%. It'll take that all the way up to 5 to 7%. And I'll put up an image of our in-screen CTR right now so you can see exactly how that looks. But let me give you an example of this in-screen CTA. So what we would do, let's say we have a video about how to start dropshipping, and then we have a video about how to scale your dropshipping store, right? What we could do is we could connect those two videos by essentially saying, now that you know how to start your dropshipping store and you know how to build an entire storefront, you need to learn how to actually scale your business and get it to $100,000 a month, right? So that would be the connect. And then we have the open loop. So what you would say here is, and there's something that I've started doing recently that's allowed me to make $100,000 a month from my dropshipping store on autopilot. So that would be the open loop. So now people are wondering, what is that thing that he started doing recently? And then we go into the CTA plus promise. Now, what is that? Well, a CTA plus promise is essentially calling to action. So watch this video next where I show you what it is, how it works, and how you can use it in order to promise scale your dropshipping store to $100,000 a month, right? So that is number 3, CTA/promise. So it's very simple. It takes about 10 to 20 seconds to say all of that, and it works extremely, extremely well. And basically per 100,000 impressions, you're going to get an extra 7,000 views on your videos, which is just absolutely ridiculous. And not to mention that YouTube prioritizes session time, which is how long someone spends watching YouTube after watching one of your videos, not just how long they spend watching your individual video. That's how YouTube actually thinks about average viewer duration or just retention in general. So when you increase your in-screen CTR, you basically double your session time, which YouTube really, really likes. And that means that your videos are going to get pushed out to a lot more of your prospects. And then we have proof. And this is really where a lot of business owners are currently messing up. And it's a very easy one to get right. So for example, in my videos, I use a lot of client testimonials. So for example, Chandler, who made over $1 million from his YouTube channel. What I would do is I would actually show proof from Chandler and actually put that on the screen for the viewer to see, right? So here's a message from Chandler that says he made over 1.65 million from YouTube. Or if I talk about one of our clients, Joel Kaplan, who are making over $600,000 a month on YouTube alone, I could just go ahead and insert this clip right here.
Month to date, 620,000. This is just on one of the businesses.
And this is really one of the most important things that you need to think about when you're making YouTube content. Because right now, people's trust is at an all-time low, and it's very hard for people to take your word for it, right? If you're saying that you made all this money, or you're saying that you helped clients make all this money, it becomes very hard for people to actually believe that. So the solution is simply just proving it, right? Showing the actual screenshots, showing the actual results. Like, we do that in every single YouTube video that we make for all of our clients, and it converts so many more people than if you just said it. And you can insert case studies, you can insert videos, photos, whatever it may be. Like for example, with Joel, we scaled him to over 100,000 subscribers. I could put this photo here. Or for example, another client that generated over $100,000 in a single day just from YouTube. So we could put that screenshot right here. This is one of the most important things. Make sure you add this stuff to your intro specifically, and anytime you actually make a claim like that. The next mistake that I see a lot of people have is simply just not having a good YouTube setup. This doesn't mean that you need to have a professional camera, doesn't mean that you need to make high production videos, but what it does mean is that the setup that you have should look nice. You should have good lighting, a nice background, even if it's a raw video. So when you make a setup, you really need to think about it like this. You have you, right? This is you. And then what you have is you have the camera right here, right? So you have your camera and this will be right here, right? So then what you need is you need a 45-degree angle light. So you need a light right here. That is light 1. And what that's going to do is that's going to shine this light on you right here. And then what you need is you actually need a backlight. So a backlight should go here, and this is shining pretty much like direct on you. It highlights your background, just like this light right here. And then you can use this setup alone. This is what I currently have, or you can make it even fancier and use something called a fill light, which is a much softer light here, where it's basically just going to kind of fill in that side of your face, and it fills in the rest of the space, right? So that one should be pretty dim. dim so that you still have this shadow on the side of your face. But this is called a 3-point lighting setup. And if you have a good background back here, this is exactly how you make your videos look very professional, just like this one right now. Obviously it could be a lot better, but it looks decent. This is the simplest way to actually make a good background and have a good setup. Make sure you have a good microphone. Like, your audio needs to sound good if you actually want to get views. Audio is even more important than camera, by the way. Even if you don't have a good lighting, audio is number one thing. If you can get like a Shure mic, if you can just even buy like a $50, even a $20 mic off of Amazon, that's so much better than just recording like direct to camera. Like, that's just not going to work. You're never going to get any views if you do that. So that is the setup. Very important to get that right. You can do a setup anywhere between $500, even $100 if you just use your phone, or you could do it with $10,000, right? Like, this whole setup that I have is roughly $10,000. So it really depends on how seriously you want to take YouTube. If you see yourself doing this for the long term, if so, I think it's worth investing in a actual camera. But if you're doing raw content as well, that's completely fine, especially to start off, test it out, see if you like it, and then maybe invest in a better setup. The last thing that you need to understand is that you need to stop thinking like a business owner when it comes to content. You need to start thinking like a creator. And this is something that I see 99% of people who try to build a personal brand fail at, is they simply just think of themselves as a business owner making content. But that's the complete wrong way to think about it. You need to put yourself in the shoes of a creator. And that doesn't mean that you're trying to get views. It means that you're still trying to get deals, but you need to learn the game of YouTube, and you need to think like a creator in order to do that. What that means is literally learning how to do YouTube. If you're a business owner and you're just sitting down on a loom giving value, it's never going to work. Like, your content may be the most valuable content in the world, but if you don't know how to package it properly, if you don't know how to do proper intros, if you don't know how to do proper ideation and take outlier concepts from other videos that have worked in other niches, bring them back to your own and recreate them where they're basically guaranteed to get views, then you're never going to have success. Or it's going to take you 1, 2, 3 years of trial and error before you learn that stuff, right? And every single business owner that I see that does content goes through this stage. They struggle. They think, oh, I'm going to give value. Oh, I'm going to copy other videos in my niche. I'm just going to post raw content and it's going to work out. Then they end up getting only a couple hundred or a couple thousand views, right? And they never end up building an actual big personal brand that gets some consistent deals coming in. You really need to actually kind of shift your mindset. There's 2 ways to go about this. You need to either study creators and become a creator yourself, or you need to work with someone like us who can step into your business and be that creator for you and essentially handle all of the ideation. What videos do you actually need to make that are going to get you results? Come up with a thumbnail concepts. How do you actually use human psychology and YouTube psychology in order to make thumbnails that people actually click? How do you target those towards the right people? Coming up with titles that draw people's focus to specific parts of it, that sell the dream outcome, reduce the time delay, increase the perceived likelihood of achievement, and reduce the effort. And how do you hire the right team of really talented scriptwriters, editors, creative directors, etc.? That is exactly why a lot of business owners are currently working with us, because we can just come into the business and be that creator for them while they focus on running their actual company. So if that sounds interesting to you, click the first link in the description, schedule a time to speak with my team, and we'll see if it's a good fit. Then we'll hop on, figure out if it's a good fit, give you a content audit, and if we end up working together, great. If not, all good as well. But now that you know the 7 mistakes, I want to actually give you access to a completely free YouTube course with over 6 hours of content, giving you the basics of how to actually start putting yourself in that creator state and learn everything that you need to know about YouTube in order to scale to over 100,000 subscribers. This course is by far the best course on YouTube. It's completely free. We've had over 20,000 people go through it. So click right here if you want access. Thanks, and have a good one.